Hello everyone, so in this video I'll show you how to make a gun shooting system like this one. It's pretty simple and it's easy to expand on to add whichever features you want. And let's get into it. So this is just my example that I have. I have this new Unity project with just a player with a movement script. I made this in a previous video and you can check it out. You can move around with WASD, jump, and look around with the mouse like a standard first-person controller. So I'll start off by making the scripts. First we'll create a C# script called gun and double-click to open it up in Visual Studio. Alright, so once we're in here, you can create all of these variables. So we'll need a public int for damage, a public float for the fire rate, which is like how many shots per second it will shoot, an impact force amount, a public camera object to reference the camera, a particle system for the muzzle flash, a game object for the hit effect, and then just some other things we need to get this. So in the start method, we'll set the start gun position to the transform.local position. We'll also set the start field of view equal to the cam.field of view, and we'll set the target field of view equal to the start field of view. This stuff is just for scoping in on the gun, and you'll see how it works in a bit once we get to that. First we'll want to be lerping to the gun position that we want to be at. So this is if you scope in, you want it to move to the middle of your screen, and if you unscope, you want it to go back to the right. And it just sets the transform.local position to this vector3.lerp. Then the camera field of view, this should just be cam. The field of view is going to be equal to our target field of view, but it's smoothed with the mathf smooth damp. Then we check if you left click with this, fire one, and it's been enough time between your other shot. So then it resets the timer and also shoots. We'll create this method in a second. And then if you press down on right click, it starts to aim. And then if you let go of right click, it ends the aim. So now we'll create these methods. So we'll create a void shoot, open and close parentheses, and in here is just this block of code. So first it plays our muzzle flash, like the visual, and then it will create a physics.raycast from our camera's position forwards with a max distance of 1000. You can set this to anything, it's just the max distance. Then we'll create this script later, but this is just to take damage. And then we check if it's not null, then we'll take damage on that script. And we'll also check if it has a rigid body, we'll add a force going backwards or like at the point of impact. We'll also create a impact object there with the hit effect game object. So this is like a particle system. I'll show you this in a second. And it's facing away from the object, the hit.normal. And then we'll destroy this after 5 seconds. So that's what happens in the shoot method. We'll also need a void start aim, and in here we'll set aiming equal to true. We'll set the target field of view equal to start field of view. Start field of view times 0.7. You can make this smaller if you want. Okay, so we'll also set the gun position equal to a new vector3, and this is just in the middle of your screen at x0. So for void end aim, it's pretty much the same thing. I'll just paste it in here again. So it sets aiming equal to false, so that it stops scoping in. Sets the target field of view back to the start field of view, and also sets the gun position back to the start gun. So we can save this with Control S, go back into Unity, and we'll create another script, and we'll just call this one target, double click it, and I'll just paste it in. It's a quick. So we just have a variable for our health. I just set it to 100. And here, since it does 10 damage, you'd have to shoot it 10 times to go away. And then it just subtracts the amount of damage that we did. And if the health goes below 0, you die. And that's what happens here if you die. I just have it to destroy the game object, but you can do whatever you want. So save this, go back into Unity, and now I'll put it all together. So I'll import a few items. These are mostly just visuals, just have a few materials. This to red, this is just so it's easy to see what's going on. Alright, so I just have this hit effect which creates this like bullet hole. You can replace it with a bullet hole if you want. And also has some sparks. I also have this simple muzzle flash, which I'm not sure what's going on. But yeah, I just have a simple muzzle flash. So on our main camera, we can, I'll open this up. So I also have this gun. This is from the Brackeys dev store or whatever. I'll link in the description as well. I'll also just have a project download. So you can put this in under the camera and reset the transform and move it a bit forwards and down, as you can see like this. Maybe a bit further down. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, so I'll put in the muzzle flash, just drag it on, and then you can drag this or move it to the tip of the gun. And then on this game object, it should be empty like this. Just add the gun script that we just created, and then you can drag in the camera. You can drag in the muzzle flash that we just added, and then from the project window down here, you can drag in the hit effect. Alright, so as well as doing that, make sure on your rigid body the freeze rotation is on. And now I'll create a 3D object cube. Move it up a bit. We're almost done. I'll make it blue. I'll add a rigid body. And to prevent you from shooting yourself, a quick fix for that right now is you can just set the layer here to ignore raycasts. There are better ways to fix it, like if you're creating a multiplayer game, but leave a comment in the comments section below if you want me to talk about that. So now if we press play, and you shoot, it should show those, and it should also have this effect as well. And if you shoot the box, it should slowly move it back. You can of course tweak this to make it however you want. You can also add things like reloading like I showed, or leave a comment if you want me to show you how to do it. If you enjoyed it, leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment, because that's always motivating to me. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.